Southern France, a region known for its tranquility and beauty, was recently shaken by an act of terror targeting the heart of its Jewish community. On a peaceful Saturday, a car exploded outside the Beth Yaakov Synagogue. This horrifying event sent shockwaves through the nation and beyond, raising urgent questions about security, tolerance, and the rise of anti-Semitism. The explosion, later attributed to a gas cylinder inside the vehicle, injured a police officer who bravely responded to the scene. Fortunately, the 5 individuals inside the synagogue, including the rabbi, escaped unharmed. The attack, however, left an indelible mark on the community, shattering their sense of peace and security. The French authorities were swift in their response, immediately launching an investigation into the incident. The attack was classified as a suspected terrorist act, prompting a wave of fear and uncertainty. The very fabric of French society, built on the principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity, felt threatened. The French National Anti-Terrorism Prosecutor's Office took the helm of the investigation, treating the synagogue attack as a potential terrorist assassination attempt. The investigation was meticulous and far-reaching, aiming to uncover the truth behind this heinous act. Authorities meticulously gathered evidence, poring over hours of surveillance footage from the vicinity of the synagogue. Witnesses were interviewed, their accounts providing valuable pieces of the puzzle. Every lead was pursued, every possibility explored. The motive behind the attack remained a central question. Was it driven by religious hatred, a misguided sense of ideology, or a combination of factors? The investigation sought to shed light on these critical questions. The attack sent ripples of fear and anxiety through the Jewish community in France. Synagogues, once places of worship and community gathering, suddenly felt vulnerable. The need for increased security measures became glaringly apparent, a stark reminder of the challenges faced by minority communities in a world grappling with rising extremism. In the wake of the attack, the French government took decisive action to enhance security measures around Jewish places of worship. Acting Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin ordered additional police forces to synagogues across the country. This show of force aimed to deter attackers and reassure a shaken community. The increased security presence served as a reminder of the community's vulnerability. It underscored the need to address the root causes of hate. The synagogue attack drew swift and widespread condemnation, both within France and internationally. French President Emmanuel Macron, in a powerful display of solidarity, visited the site of the attack and expressed his unwavering support for the Jewish community. He vowed to bring the perpetrators to justice and directed all necessary resources to support the victims and their families. Political leaders across the spectrum echoed President Macron's sentiments, emphasizing the need for unity and vigilance in the face of hatred and intolerance. The attack served as a stark reminder that the values of tolerance, respect, and understanding were not merely abstract ideals, but the very cornerstones of a just and peaceful society. The global community joined France in condemning the attack, offering condolences and expressing solidarity with the victims. The United States, the United Kingdom, Germany, and numerous other nations voiced their condemnation, emphasizing the need for international cooperation in combating anti-Semitism and all forms of extremism. The attack underscored the interconnectedness of the modern world and the shared responsibility to confront hatred wherever it may arise. Section 5. The shadow of anti-Semitism looms large. The attack on the synagogue in southern France highlighted the alarming rise of anti-Semitism in Europe. Jewish communities face hostility, prejudice, and violence. The attack is a stark reminder that the fight against anti-Semitism remains urgent. Extremist ideologies fueled by online hate speech contribute to intolerance. The French government has taken steps to combat anti-Semitism, but more needs to be done. Section 6. Through the eyes of witnesses. Eyewitnesses to the synagogue attack provided chilling accounts of the events that unfolded that fateful Saturday. They described seeing an individual behaving suspiciously near the synagogue, setting fire to cars parked outside the building. Their swift actions in alerting the authorities likely prevented a greater tragedy. Surveillance cameras captured images of the suspect, providing crucial leads for investigators. The footage showed the suspect fleeing the scene shortly after the explosion, adding another piece to the puzzle. The eyewitness accounts, combined with the physical evidence, painted a clearer picture of the events leading up to the attack. The attack left the local community reeling in shock and disbelief. Residents, many of whom had known their Jewish neighbors for generations, struggled to comprehend the hatred that had visited their peaceful town. The attack served as a stark reminder that even in the most tolerant of societies, the forces of hatred and intolerance can lurk beneath the surface, waiting for an opportunity to emerge. Section 7. Unraveling the motive, understanding the context. While the investigation into the synagogue attack continued, the question of motive loomed large. Authorities explored connections to organized extremist groups and lone wolf attackers driven by personal prejudice. Understanding the motive was crucial for justice and preventing future incidents. The attack occurred amid heightened tensions in France and Europe. Extremist ideologies exploited societal fault lines. The attack underscored the need for vigilance from law enforcement and society as a whole. Promoting interfaith dialogue and challenging prejudice were essential steps in combating extremism. The attack reminded us that fighting hate is a shared responsibility. Section 8. A global call for action against hate. The synagogue attack resonated far beyond the borders of France, prompting a global outcry against anti-Semitism and all forms of religious intolerance. World leaders, international organizations, and people of all faiths condemned the attack, expressing solidarity with the victims and calling for a united front against hatred. The attack underscored the interconnectedness of the modern world, demonstrating that acts of hatred and intolerance in one corner of the globe could have ripple effects across continents. It highlighted the need for international cooperation, not just in sharing intelligence and coordinating security measures, but also in addressing the root causes of extremism and promoting a culture of tolerance and understanding. The attack served as a stark reminder that the fight against hate is a global one. It requires a shared commitment to upholding the values of tolerance, respect, and understanding. It demands a rejection of all forms of prejudice and discrimination, whether based on religion, ethnicity, gender, or any other characteristic that seeks to divide rather than unite. Section 9. The importance of interfaith dialogue and understanding. In the aftermath of the synagogue attack, the importance of interfaith dialogue and understanding emerged as a crucial element in building a more tolerant and peaceful society. Bridging the divides between different religious communities, fostering empathy, and challenging misconceptions were essential steps in combating the forces of hatred and intolerance. Interfaith dialogue provides a platform for people of different faiths to come together, to learn about each other's beliefs and traditions, and to build relationships based on mutual respect. Through dialogue, stereotypes can be challenged, misconceptions can be dispelled, and common ground can be found. Education also plays a vital role in fostering interfaith understanding. By teaching young people about different religions and cultures, by promoting critical thinking skills, and by encouraging empathy and compassion, we can create a generation that is equipped to challenge prejudice and discrimination. The attack on the synagogue served as a stark reminder that the work of building a more tolerant and inclusive society is never done. It requires ongoing effort, vigilance, and an unwavering commitment to the values of respect, understanding, and compassion. Section 10. Towards a future free from fear. The attack on the synagogue in southern France was a stark reminder of the fragility of peace and the ever-present threat of hatred and intolerance. Yet, amidst the grief, there was also a glimmer of hope. The outpouring of support for the Jewish community and the global call for action against anti-Semitism pointed to a collective desire for a better future. The attack served as a catalyst for reflection and action. It forced a reckoning with the persistence of anti-Semitism and the need for a more concerted effort to combat it. Building a future free from fear requires a multifaceted approach. It demands that we address the root causes of hatred and intolerance and create a society where diversity is celebrated, not feared. The attack was a tragedy, but it also reaffirmed our commitment to a more just, peaceful and tolerant world for all.
Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel to receive all the new news.